Greetings, everybody. This is a review of the assignment that's due next Saturday on April 30th. You're going to do 4 drawings. The first 3 of them are going to be on large sheets of paper. The last one, which is aerial or atmospheric perspective, you'll do that in color in your sketchbook. So here's an example of a single vanishing point or single point perspective. The vanishing point is in the distance here on the horizon where the railroad tracks converge. That one's pretty simple. Here's a painted version where you can see the vanishing point would be pretty much at the foot of the cross, the way there is an intersection of all these converging lines from the ceiling. Really effective use, and this is probably the first example of this in the history of art, about 1425, if I'm not mistaken. Here's probably a better example for your purposes where you're going to be doing a drawing that's more graphic. So here would be the vanishing point more or less right there where all these lines, all the horizontal lines converge at that one particular point right there, the vanishing point. So that's single point perspective. The next one is double or 2-point perspective. These buildings here are there are 2 vanishing points that you actually pretty much off the screen here, but I've got too far. Here are the vanishing points right about there and there. Those would be within the picture plane. And here's a nice diagram of 2-point perspective. Pretty clear here. Vanishing point left, vanishing point right, and the buildings, the street scene. That might be the kind of thing you want to do. You could just use a single house, for instance. I'd like your drawing to be more detailed than this one, though. This is pretty bare bones. Okay, the next thing is Chiaroscuro. This is the painting I showed you on Saturday by Caravaggio, where the lights and darks are really extreme. So the foreground is pretty much very bright, although the thing closest to you might be this edge of the floor here, or step, where it's not as bright as Christ's body. But that's pretty much for dramatic effect, that the Christ's body is the brightest thing in the painting, and then the background is really dark. I mean, making it look far away, although hard to say what that depth would actually be. Here is a version you could think of as a drawing. This is probably a print, actually. But again, you've got this extreme variation of light and dark. Notice here the center point is actually is sort of a mid-tone. So Christ standing there is a mid-tone, light on the left, getting darker in the background here. But again, very dramatic. Now the Mona Lisa here is a good example of 2 things. It's chiaroscuro on her face, the modeling on the face comes out. It's really great, gives you the sense of volume. And also aerial perspective background. Let me switch images here. So back here you've got this bluing, pale blue, where everything, the mountains and the sky are farthest away right at this point. So you've got the contrast from up here where the lights and darks are more distinct, and then they're paler here, and of course offset with Mona Lisa here in a different style of chiaroscuro. Here's a landscape photograph. Notice here the intense green in the foreground fading out in the background. So this is what I would like you to do. You could use artistic license and do an interior scene where everything that's farther away from you gets paler, as if there were smoke or steam in the room. Preferably you'd want to go outside and do this, because you'll get a more extreme, you can have more extreme distances between you. So choose something in the foreground that would be dark and intense, or relatively dark and intense, and then something in the background that fades out into the distance. So good luck on that. Again, the first 3, single point, 2-point perspective, and chiaroscuro on the big paper, those can be in black and white. And then the 4th one, aerial or atmospheric perspective, do that one in your sketchbook and in color, please. And do draw from the real world, not from photographs or memory. Okay? All right. See you on Saturday. Thank you.